Happy Saturday. It's about 10 a.m. West Coast time. I just read the CBO, the Congressional Budget Office, just did an assessment and determined that Donald Trump's tariffs will reduce the national debt by $4 trillion over 10 years. Initially, it's like, dumb people think that's amazing. Then you look back to the big, beautiful bill. They raised the debt ceiling by $5 trillion. And that bill included tax cuts for the 1% that are basically going to cost around $4 trillion. The same amount that the tariffs are going to bring in over the course of the next decade. Trump supporters still think that tariffs are a middle class tax cut. Trump supporters still think that the tariffs are paid by the companies or by the countries that are shipping products into the United States. Trump supporters uniformly, despite making what are tariffs the number one Google search in the days following the 2024 election, are too dumb to understand that tariffs are paid by consumers. So with this little chain, pass the big beautiful bill, raise the debt ceiling by $5 trillion, pass a tax cut for the 1% that's going to cost $4 trillion, impose tariffs. Tariffs are going to bring in $4 trillion over the next decade. Tariffs are paid by consumers. Consumers are paying for the tax cuts dollar for dollar, the tax cuts for the 1%. It's a nice little circle. The bottom 90% of people in this country are the ones who are going to pay these tariffs, and dollar for dollar, the money coming in from those tariffs are paying for the tax cuts for the 1%. Dollar for dollar. But hey, no tax on tips and no tax on overtime until you read the language that Republicans actually wrote on those two things in the big beautiful bill, and they wrote it in such a way that it's a complete fucking scam. No tax cuts for you. And you guys are paying for the billionaires' tax cuts dollar for dollar. They cost $4 trillion. Tariffs are going to raise $4 trillion. Tariffs are paid for by you, MAGA. The ones who were desperate for no tax on tips and no tax on overtime. Not only did you not get those two things in any way that effectively benefits you, you are paying for their tax cuts dollar for dollar. When is it going to be enough? We don't want you guys to admit that you were wrong, okay? We want you to admit that you were lied to.